Oh yeah, now my people, it's your dark-skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, hey, today you go understand. Big up everyone, smash the like button, share, comment and subscribe. It's your weekly edition of Upwatch. We're going to talk about the Ops. The Ops, they suffer this weekend though. Man, you pew, Chelsea pew, Spurs do what Spurs do. Yeah, everyone's there. But we're going to discuss everything. Also, stress. I warned this Mikel Arteta. Having Thomas Partey running up and down the wings is going to cause problems. And what happened? Problems. But we're going to chop it up, and the panel are going to join us after this quick intro. Let's go. You don't know us. Yo, my people. Hey, smash the like button if it's your first time here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well and hit the notification button as well. So, guys, I got a few debuts as well. One regular face that is the most annoying face on YouTube right now because his team are strolling to the title because we're making it so easy for them. But I'm going to introduce the panel. First of all, hey, this guy, but do you know what? I invited this guy because I like his insight. He asks the right questions. He doesn't waste time with all this fluff and all this. It's always banter. He gets straight into the nitty gritty. And I've seen him on streams. He's got the chest all the way out because first trophy in 70 years, he has every right to have his chest out. Making his Tunnel TV debut, we got Toon Tactics in the building. How you doing, my bro? You're on mute, bro. You're on mute. Come on, man.
First time. Already it's a bad start, but no, I'm so blessed. Thank you so much for the invite. Always a privilege to be on shows. Well, it's my first time actually to be debutant on the show, and hats off to the panel, hats off to the chat and everybody here.
Big up, man. Big up. Also making his Tunnel TV debut. Look, this guy here, he's a celebrity, mate. I see him every weekend. This team lose, I'm looking out for his reaction videos. I'm looking out for them. Yeah, he's there, man. He was like, lock off the stream this week, man. It was a beautiful sight to see. Making his Tunnel TV debut, you got Ash in the building. How you doing, Ash?
Yes, my brothers, man. Hey, listen. I just want to be singing Beyonce because that's what's be coming to my stadium real soon. SZA, can't say that, can you? Huh? Yeah. Man's got man like Kendrick, like you get me. But yeah,
you gotta brag about Saturday, man.
You gotta brag about Saturday, minute, because football. People say it's robotic, it's boring. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's not the same. It's not like back in the day. I see where the old school France top. You know what I mean? The Nel Curran them thing there, Trezeguet. Let me not
Henry, but yeah, cool. Them too.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Oh, okay, Henry. Yeah. But yeah, man. Look, I know we're gonna get into the Henry Salah debate anyway, so.
For sure. We're gonna get into that.
Leave it at that. Big up the
Wait,
chat,
I'm not. I know we've been on streams before, but I'm not sure if we've been on a stream on this channel before. I'm not sure, But yeah, we've had a few battles. I don't think we've ever clashed in terms of opinions, but in terms of actually we actually have. But we'll get into that later on in the show. Making his Tunnel TV debut, as I do believe we got Sard in the building. How you doing, Sard?
Big up everybody. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Listen, man, we're here, man. Do you know what I mean? Salah, Henry debates. Do you know what I mean? This is all that we're going to be getting for the rest of football, the rest of the time. Do you know what I mean? At this point, I'm just prepared for it now. These are going to be the debates that are going to be had for the rest of the time now. It is literally Salah versus Henry, bro. Listen, Chelsea, we're going to be speaking about Spurs. We're going to be speaking about Partey, Man United. Listen, man. There's a full plate today, man. Do you know what I mean? There's a full plate, bro.
Many tins to chop.
Yeah, full plate.
And also, we got the boring old Scousers in the building. We got African Scouser repping Tunnel TV and Liverpool and all that. Yeah, whatever.
I find it difficult why you always announce me last one. Secondly, as in, I'm on top of everybody. Do you understand what I'm saying? All that bullshit needs to stop. Do you understand what I'm saying? Otherwise, there will be consequences and repercussions coming your way very soon. Do you understand what I'm saying? For real. All right? Now, you put some respect on my name. Do you understand? As league leaders and 2025.
I will not wait to the end of the season to start putting respect on your name. I beg.
Keep quiet.
Yeah, big up follow anyway. Smash the
I said
like
be
button,
quiet.
share, comment, and subscribe. And I just carried on shouting over him, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who was there, but do you know what? I guess we can start since they refuse to represent themselves on this panel this week. We might as well start with them clowns. Them clowns that told us it's as soon as the manager changes, you'll see these players challenge for top 4. Look, it's Eric. He doesn't know what he's doing. Amorim, he's got a philosophy. We saw what he did at Sporting Lisbon. There's no way he's not gonna. I'm not saying he's gonna be great, but he's gonna be better. We're gonna be better, and that's all we need to be better.
That guy is on fraud watch. It's on fraud watch.
Man United I don't know about you guys, but it seems that they're always 13th loss, 13th win, 13th. No matter what result, they're always in that 13th place. Let the journey start this. Obviously, Man United pulled up to St. James's Park, and I'm probably this is the first time you've not really been too intimidated. Is that how you saw the game going, or were you surprised with how easy it turned out?
That's a brilliant question. You know, when you first started that intro, before you said Amorim, I thought you talked about Chelsea.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought you said about Chelsea. I've had to rearrange my whole thinking. Okay, right, yeah.
No, talk about those frauds too. Don't worry.
We'll talk about them in a moment. But look, I think with all honesty, and again, you're talking from a Newcastle a fan's perspective, and that's I haven't feared Man United for a long time. I haven't feared a lot. I used to fear, Sheffield United. So things have changed a lot since the last 3.5 years. To be honest with you, I haven't feared United for a long time in terms of that. But I think if you're talking for Man United, we're all wrong for them. We've got pace, power, aggression. We've got the Champions League motivation with us. It was never going to be. It was always going to be difficult for them. Although saying that, they did have a good first half, and there were a few times where they got beyond the halfway line in terms of to do a couple 1-2 touches. Xerxes was actually decent. I know he gets a lot of
he looked decent on the ball.
He looked decent.
A little bit.
I'm like, if this guy continues staying up there, and they're playing through him, it might be a bit of a situation. And he pulled up a hamstring when he was actually he went past 3 or 4 guys, and he was bearing down our goal and just put up on a hamstring. But look, after that second half hit, we just had enough, and we just went at Dalot, went at various players, and you saw, I think the Barnes goal kind of epitomized things. We'll talk about the Tonali goal in a moment, but the Barnes goal where he just ran through the center of Man United's defense and put it away. He could have passed it to Isak, said, "No, I'll just run through the defense and score." It kind of epitomized the game. But I think you would have got. I don't know if you guys remember the first game that we had at Old Trafford, and I think they had already lost that game before we started. So. I think the fear factor is probably more with Newcastle nowadays than it is with Man United. But I think Man United's got a lot of issues. I think it's multi-layered. I'll be fair to them. They've got, in terms of the structure that they're going through. I think they've got pressure of what the media and commercial people want them to be. You got your Gary Neville's and all that still talking about United like it's 1992, and it's insane. I don't know if you guys heard a commentary. Sometimes I have to turn it off. They were saying things like, "Yeah, we know that Newcastle are 2 goals ahead, but you know, Man United could still get back into it." I'm like, really? I'm like, why?
Yeah, they're thinking of the Man U of old, mate.
They're thinking of Man United of old. I'm like, really?
But I don't know how many of the rest of them.
Sorry for them. I don't know why you're feeling sorry for them.
I can never feel sorry for them.
For what? Why are you feeling sorry for them? For what? No, they're going through it. Come on, man. You know how much they spend?
I can never feel sorry for people that wear the devil on their badge, but I can be objective in what I'm saying.
Team tactic, speaking in the words of gospel, man.
Preaching to the gospel. Preaching to the gospel.
Did you not all watch the game? Did you all watch the game?
Yes, sir.
So
I didn't watch it.
Okay, Sar, did you watch the game?
Yes.
Okay, so in the first, I don't know if before Newcastle went 1-0 up, Newcastle were looking mad shaky, or was it me?
Yeah, no, they were looking nervous, but the thing is for me,
All right.
But here's the thing. The players might look nervous, but there was never a thought in my mind that Man United were gonna get anything. Even if they did, I knew that the power that Newcastle were gonna hit back with, bro, it's there, bro. Do you know what I mean? And listen, big up Team Tactics. The smile on his face says it over. The guy, all I've seen is his teeth, bro. Throughout this whole stream, United, bro. Ever since we mentioned United, he was like, "What? The team that just what? The one that was just on the dinner plate, yeah." Fairs, bro. Don't worry, man. Listen, I'll be real, yeah. If we're talking objectively, I don't think it's all on the manager, bro. I don't know. Am I the only one that doesn't think it's on the manager? I think it's on the players, bro. I think some of these players are really below par, bro. Really below par. Like some of these players are actually not very good. And these Man United fans are realizing now, you know what? We've changed the manager and we're still the same. We're not getting any better. Like, bro, it has to be these players now. These players have to they have to do a legit rebuild.
I think it's the wrong players for the wrong system. That's what I think, personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because on transition, they look half decent. In Europa, they might be able to, crud it out. You know what I'm saying? But the system does not suit them, and I don't think Amorim's going to change it because he's stubborn and he's about his principles.
But that's what you got.
We all know what happens with that type of style of football, when you stick to your principles and you don't adapt. Anyway.
Yeah, but do you not agree with what Hanif's saying? Like Amorim can't be blamed, but the effort from the players is shocking. But Ineos are responsible for this. Do you think?
I think it depends. Like if you're talking about that individual game, sometimes we're just bigger and stronger than they are. Like it's so there's only so much you can do on the pitch. I know. Yeah. Sal's point about I don't know about nervous. Like I think we literally went man for man for each, and that's when a team goes man for man for each player. Ash, like listen, Tottenham go man for man all the time, and we see what happens to them. Like, no. We literally just said we're just gonna we're not gonna even do we're not gonna be like reserved. We're not gonna be balanced. We're just gonna take. We believe we could just take you out. That's why I looked a bit shaky, more than usual type of thing. And it just happened to be that way. You saw Tonali towards the end of the game. I know you watched it. A few of you guys watched it. Ran from his half of the pitch all the way to there. That's like in the 90th minute. There had about 4 Man United players chasing him while he's on the ball, and they couldn't capture him. That's like FIFA stuff. Like that's when you're doing FIFA, like on easy mode, right? So when the players doing that, it just shows you that there's no athleticism, there's no pace, and there's only so much you can do, to be honest. And I can't. If it's that game, I can't really fault them. I have seen them play better. I saw Man United play against Nottingham Forest, for instance, and they held the ball. I know they lost that game, but they held the ball a little bit better. But I think we're a better team than Nottingham Forest. We've beaten them 3 times this year. So if it's for that game, I kind of don't blame them for that. But I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I agree, though. I agree. I think Man United lack legs in the midfield, where you lot have got a lot of players that are like a lot of athletes. Physicality, I think technically as well, Man United are very poor. When I look at your midfield, bro, I think your midfield could rival Arsenal's, or dare I say it's even better. Sorry, Asana, but I look at Tonali, yeah.
It's your time, It's your time.
Yeah, hold on a second. Talking about Man United.
Why are we always catching straight? Why?
Every time, bro. I don't know. If I'm looking at Tonali versus Rice here, I'm taking Tonali. I don't know, too. What do you think? Tonali or Rice?
Hey, listen, you started the fire. You have to finish the fire.
Is an interesting discussion.
Very
interesting discussion.
Let's
talk about it. Let's get into it, bro. Like, Tonali versus
no, it's not for the show. It's not for the show. Yeah, we'll definitely get into it. There's too many other discussions to have.
I think with Man United, they just lack the foundation to start with. Their goalkeeper. All right, the goalkeeper is a big issue. All right, that guy is not.
Okay, wait.
Enough.
So let's talk about this goalkeeping thing, guys. Quickly. No. Wait.
Not good enough.
Wait.
Can you guys
Please.
hear me?
No, we can hear you.
I think it's lagging. I think it's lagging.
It was
lagging
lagging
a little bit. We can definitely hear you. But with Onana, guys, I've been talking about this on many streams now. Before he landed at Manchester United. Before he landed at Manchester United, while we hounding this man like this, was he getting attacked every single week like this? No, he was winning Dutch titles. He was winning Serie A titles, trophies and stuff. He was getting it. Was he not the keeper of the tournament in the Champions League that year? I'm not sure, but he got into the Champions League final.
He was. That one year.
Man U fans were telling me, yeah, this is perfect for the style of play that we want. He's good passer from the back. Like, I'm asking you, is it Onana or is it the cancer of Manchester United that's infecting everybody? I want to understand because like, what do you like? Because like look at every player that's left that club in the last 3 seasons has made an impact in the area that they're in now. Whether they're sensational or not, they look better than they did at Man U. Everyone, not just a couple. Even we can go back all the way down to Fred. Fred's looked like a decent player since he's left there, and you can't say that midfield's not missed Fred. You know what I'm saying? Anthony's looking like a new player.
Rashford has had a great season.
Rashford is looking like a new player. Like, it's like once they get a chance to break. Okay, wait, hold on. Sancho is just a joker, he's a clown. So that one just looks retarded everywhere. You get what I'm saying? But that one's for a different stream.
Don't forget, Sancho went to Dortmund and performed. Went to the Champions League final.
It's true. Maybe it's the Chelsea and Man U thing back to back there because he did.
It's the Premier League. For him, it's the Premier League.
You're right.
It's the Premier League. He can't do the Premier League.
Yeah.
He's just not good for the Premier League.
So is it a Amorim thing, a players thing, or a lack of aura at Manchester United now? Is that what it really is?
The fear factor has gone. The fear factor has gone. People go there right now and just think, you know what, we can get a point or 3 points. Back in the day, you go there, you're just thinking, okay, yeah, we're in for it. Do you understand? Whatever we get, we get. Now, but people are just going there just thinking, you know what, bro, I'm better than you. Man for man, we're better than you guys. You guys can't even spring a couple passes. It's quite difficult for United to even put like 6-7 passes, like in the space of 10 minutes.
It's like someone has taken the soul from Manchester United.
Yeah, the soul is completely gone. So you're going there and just thinking, you know what? Yeah, man, 3 points today.
And I know you guys have watched the original Space Jam, not the LeBron James.
Yes.
When the basketball gets thrown in and the players lose their powers, it's like when they enter Old Trafford, it's like that same device.
And don't forget, things actually go there,
and back on the football.
Exactly.
I got my
things actually go to Old Trafford. They're determined. They want to win. It's like it's a historic stadium. You want to go there. You want to get 3 points. And now, so you're having good teams go there that can play. If you can play football, you beat Manchester United. If you can actually play football, you can beat Manchester United all day. And that's why they will struggle with the likes of Wolves and all those type of teams. Because they can play Brighton. Brighton, they've had a field day with Manchester United lately.
Oh, mate.
So
but
with this thing though, yeah. Because I look at the whole Man United situation. I do agree. I think the foundation is like rotten, bro. It's rotten to the core, the club in itself.
Yeah.
Now you've got these new owners in Ineos, yeah, and everybody's like obviously going mad on them as well, yeah. And listen, they are to a certain degree, of course, they took over the footballing aspect of the club. Do you know what I mean? The Glazers are handling the commercial side and that, which they're obviously good at. And then these guys are handling the footballing aspect, yeah. They've come in, they've gotten their manager after giving Eric Ten Hag a chance. They got their manager now, Amorim. I think they need to stick with this guy. Because yes, I know people are saying, "Oh, he's too stubborn." I'm sorry, but you guys were complaining that the last manager doesn't play his style of football that he promised us, or doesn't play the style of football that he played in the previous job. But then when a guy comes in and says, "I'm playing my style of football," we're gonna bring in players to suit this style of football, and we're keeping some of the players that I think can suit that style of football, and then we're getting rid of some of the other ones who can't. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think these guys, the thing is with Manchester United is they don't want to wait. They don't want to wait to see what's going to happen. They just want everything now. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like a spoiled little child, bruv, that your dad is telling you, don't worry, I'll give you that toy in like maybe a year when you get me good grades. And then you sit there and cry and they say, I want it now. I don't want to get the good grades. I want to get it now. Like, bro, it's crazy.
Do you know what? Do you what? And this is where I'm going to big up the Arsenal fans that have stood tall in this one. And this is a bit. It's going to be, when I say the curse of Arsenal, I don't mean like Arsenal are cursed, but this is where it's a problem for Man United. The two cursed words: phase and process for people. In life, everything is a process and everything is a phase. But people have turned it into some sort of gimmick, or they're kind of
Social
banter
media,
people
bro.
with it.
Social media.
And exactly, and Man United fans think, especially the younger ones who are inexperienced in life, think that they just can there's one manager that can turn it around, a striker that can score 20 goals a season can turn it around, and we would be back to being Man United no more. And people should learn. If you look at Arsenal, if you look at we're not in a Forest star, even us, is people are acting like, oh, see, look, they said, oh, but in Newcastle won a cup and they're in top 4 now. Where's the process? It started literally 3.5 years ago. This is it's not today. I don't know if you guys know this. It's not today.
Your process started way long before that, man.
Exactly.
It's been a while.
Well, no, it started since the takeover, because there was no process. It was a Steve Bruce. Like you don't want Steve Bruce, right? So Man United Arsenal had that, where you had to go through the process of clearing it. You finished 8th in 2 seasons running. You had to clear out players. You had to take the hits. You had to take the banter. And now you're finishing 2nd, and now you're challenging for leagues. But it's taken a process to do that. If Man United fans think that one manager or one player or a striker or whatnot is going to change them around, it's not. It's going to be a 5-year, 6-year. And as you know, those is AA meetings, alcoholics meetings. The only time you get to start the actual rehabilitation is when you admit you're an alcoholic. You accept it. You accept it. Bro, I'm like, I ain't nothing, bro. Like, I'm
bro, we're actually shit, you lot.
Yeah.
We're actually shit. You know what I'm saying? There's no sugarcoating it. There's no heritage. There's no. Yeah, I know you got the same amount of trophies.
I played for Manchester United and I'm shit.
Yes, but until no, you're right. Two tactics onto something, because until they all accept collectively this realization, there's gonna be stuff like hammering out. Rashford's the problem.
Yes.
Why are they using this Garnacho?
Yes,
you're right.
You know what though? First of all, Man United is the biggest white. Now listen, it's the biggest what? Man United. Man United. What's that doing? Man United. Why? But look.
They're just called man. Them man ain't United, bro. They're just called man.
It's fair man, running around. It's crazy.
Too many man. All right.
Too many man. Hey, on a serious note, I think the pressure and being in that club is a problem. So that expectation, that weight, do you understand? And I think that's why so many players, so many managers, people higher up, there's too many voices, there's too many cooks, there's too many chefs in the kitchen spoiling the broth. And I look at Man United and I look at the system, and I said it before, the technicality they're lacking for what I looked at Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon had Trincao in the 10, you know what I'm saying? They had what's his face?
Diamande.
They had
Gyökeres.
Gyökeres, yeah. Guak, you know what I'm saying? You're banging in 800 goals, you know what I'm saying?
Where's this?
Why
for that, bro? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's a Glock, man. What's wrong with you?
Okay, I didn't hear that.
I said Glock, man. I never heard I had Glock. I don't know. Hey, rewind that. Hey, comment section. Let us know what really happened there, man. Carry on. Sorry.
Rasmus, yeah, Rasmanian devil.
Rasmanian devil. Rasmanian crazy word, bro.
Prime youngster from Atalanta, 18-year-old. They were like, we're gonna get the youngster in. He's gonna do bits. It hasn't quite worked out, brother. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the player profiles, what he had at Sporting, and I'm comparing it to what United have, and I'm like, this ain't it, bro. You know what I'm saying? This ain't it. And then even down to the midfield as well. Like, I just feel like Ugarte, when you're trying to build up, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get technical. When you're trying to build up from the back into the midfield, because that's what you got to do to kind of
He's not your guy.
Down. He's not your guy, bro. He's not your guy. And Bruno, for me, he's not disciplined enough. He wants to be full action hero. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Arnie from the top of the building. Calm down, bro. Do your job. Like, that's what I'm saying. This is why you see Amorim on his knees like that, like Ninja Turtles, all down on his knees, bro. That's a bad thing, you know. For first knees, you know, his knees must be screaming. I know he's 40 plus. Them knees are just always down like that. I said, brother, shut up, man.
Okay, so wait, so so Ola, I want to bring you in on this one. Like, obviously, Toon Tactics has talked about Manchester United fans need to come to a realization of where they're actually at and what is needed for them to get out of it. So, as much as I've been hearing in social media, fans already calling for the manager's head, is there a period of time that no matter what Amorim needs to be judged, and is it way too early to judge him now, or a problem is a problem? You need to fix it.
It's. I think personally, it's too early to judge this guy. This guy came into a total mess, absolute mess. You know, and this has been years in the making. Okay, but now, like I don't know who said it earlier. You know, when ETH came in, he had a style. All right, then he started changing it up, started changing it. This guy has stuck to his own style. So I think you have to allow him to bring in his own players. That's how it works. Do you
So
understand
does he
what I'm
get the
saying?
whole of next season as well for us to really,
Well, he's
really?
on fraud watch. He's on fraud watch. Unfortunately, he's on fraud watch. So he still has to do what he has to do. But some of those players are terrible football players. They really are. But you have to start with recruitment. ETH did a damn serious damage when it came to recruitment because every single player that guy brought to the football
Everyone,
club
bro. Not one of
flopped.
them broke through.
There
Not
was
one.
nothing that came in through that guy, and he started with the
Everyone wrong, man.
foundation. You look at Allison and you look at us even against West Ham. We were very lucky.
Yeah,
Why? Because we have a world class goalkeeper.
100%.
World class goalkeeper, and that
You
is
see,
the
you see,
biggest
you
foundation.
see. This is the problem, Toon. You called it out. This is the type of problem they have. United are a couple of players. You see what I mean? This is the issue in the camp. There's still members of the camp that think this is actually the case, bro. And that's the issue. And Hanif said this earlier as well. Said Arsenal had a good team in charge. However, Ineos have got off to a bad start. Dan Ashford and Eric Ten Hag sacking is something is not right. Jim Ratcliffe and his team are in the firing line as well. So
yes, that part. Hang on to that point. And going back to what you were saying in terms of a few players. Like this is why why for Man United fans it's even worse. Imagine me, like you mentioned earlier, I haven't seen the trophy in 70 years, right? So it's a lot easier for me to. It took a while for me to accept when we weren't in Champions Leagues no more. We started getting relegated. We're like, wow, we're already that team. Like we're in relegation.
You haven't seen it in your history. That's what I think.
But I've seen two relegations, right? I've seen two relegations, right? But imagine being a Man United fan who's seen multiple trophies, treble leagues, who's seen absolute domination in your lifetime, right? And what I'm saying, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to accept now. Like we're not good. Like we're not a good team. Like we are bottom of we're not even mid-table. The table doesn't lie. We are. This is bad. So that's why you're going to still get people saying we're a few players away from being amazing again. And it's like being like anyone watches the UFC, like Conor McGregor. Imagine you're that kind of fighter. You've won the lot. You're thinking I can go partying, I can go drinking, I can go blow up in weight, I can take cocaine, and then it will take me a few months, and then I could when a big fight.
I'll be back,
baby. We'll be back, baby. And it's like, nah, bro, you need to go to rehab, bro.
They need a rehab. They actually need rehab.
Hold that, Conor McGregor.
Manchester United.
Hold that, Conor McGregor, man.
The thing about it,
Alhamdulillah.
let's call a spade a spade, right? Let's call a spade a spade, right?
Yeah.
It's quite disappointing. No matter who the manager is, I think Manchester United should not be where they are. I mean, 14th position. Come on, man.
Why shouldn't they be there?
Why?
Ten Hag wouldn't be in 14th. I know that.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
With the players they have compared to other teams, right?
Okay, who's
other teams?
Who's above them now? Tottenham's above them. Tottenham got better players, I think.
Nah, Tottenham are below them as well.
Below them, bro.
Okay, sorry. I tried.
Hey, two tactics. You see how Ash, bro? You see how Ash looked down, bro?
Ash is like,
they have a better squad than a lot of teams out there. They have a better squad than a lot of teams out there. And unfortunately, Bournemouth is one of them.
Bournemouth got a better team. Bournemouth have a better team.
No, they don't. No.
Clivert, Semenyo, who's that?
Yeah,
No,
Evan
but,
Nielsen,
no, but,
Dean
no, but,
Huijsen,
but,
Dean
but,
Huijsen.
Toon Tactics, what,
Okay.
like, I hear what you're saying, but at the start of the season, you weren't saying Bournemouth players are better than Man U. Now you've seen
on,
it
man.
and watched the form. You're thinking, that player's
Yeah.
probably better than that player.
But
That player,
it's if
and I'll give you that.
Yeah. If people are what, and people, this is what you're gonna marry the two. If people are looking at Man United's stats, and people hate stats, but if you look at their metrics, they were of a relegation team. How they got to where they got to is like unbelievable luck.
So
If
what?
in terms
Ten
of
Hag's overachieving, yeah.
yes.
Come on, but this is the thing that
Hey, there's blood on their hands for letting you go, bro.
Don't forget,
You've not forgiven them ETH to
won
a damn.
2 trophies.
What?
You know,
Wow.
this is the
He
team
did.
that was winning trophies. You know,
Hey, look
Hey,
at,
guys. To be fair, we've given these scumbags
So-
way too much time on the show. To be fair, like,
well, yeah.
Yeah,
By the way-
a lot of points, though.
By the way,
Let's
could I
be
just
real.
say big up to finesse? Yeah, he's just going crazy in the chat, bro. My man's head is on flames right
his
now,
head
bro.
is in Mars.
His
bro.
head is gone,
His
bro.
head is on Mars.
Oh, what's
Look
happening?
at him.
What did we do?
Bruv, look at him. This
Bro,
is the
did the
first
PUBG?
one. He tried to tag you first.
Bro.
Then he tried to attack
Look at the
Arsenal,
machine gun.
bruv. He talked about everything but his own club.
You know
He's
what?
talked about everything. Not one
Remember-
comment about United, you know.
This
It's
is-
bad.
this is-
They're
this is-
deflect
this
the
is
contact.
This is the problem. It's like,
Bro,
bro, you're an
they-
alcoholic. Hey, bro,
That's
shut
it.
up. Give me my whiskey, bro.
You're right, bro.
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm ripping all right, man. We'll be fine in the morning, man. Hey, smash the like button for finesse, man. But guys, we're gonna move on to
Yeah, for it, bro.
another team that changed their manager and they promised us there'd be changes. Spent 1.5 billion. They thought the tactic was, we have a manager that's got us 6 points away from top 4. Let's sack him and get a worse manager with the hope to do better. Well, it sounded logical to them. That all the fans convinced us how much sense it made during the summer and all the reasons why. 6 months later, they're protesting now. So I don't know what is going on. All I know is, are Chelsea where you guys expect them to be this season, or are they underachieving? Let's start there. No. Have they made progress since Poch? Let's start there.
No, they have
Why?
not.
Why,
They have
Ash?
not. They have not. They thought they were onto something because the way they started, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna invert the fullbacks." You know what I'm saying? Which Poch eventually started doing anyway. We've got Maresca. We need that style of play where we're controlling the games. You know, Poch is too much. You know, anarchy and chaos, etc. These guys, the way we're suiting, the way the style of play we're doing, we need to be playing this kind of tiki-taka kind of style, and that's pretty much what they wanted. But and also a disciplinary thing as well. Like, we need a man that, you know, when he first came in, he was telling the school children and the Mandem FC, he was telling them to keep quiet. He was like, brother, I don't want this player. Look, my manager, he's direct. He's got balls on him. See that Potts, he could never do that. Blah blah blah. Look now, look where you are now. Yeah, I'm saying Chelsea fans trying to protest. Can you believe it,
Bro,
Chelsea fans protested. What? Make it make sense, bro. Come on, man. After it spent a billion, 1.5, and still want to spend more. Still trying to get Gittins. Come on, man.
Okay, Toon, like what do you think is the issue at Chelsea? Is it the back room? Like some could say it's a Man United. Is it the players that they brought in terms of wrong profile? Is it the age? Is it just the attacking players are just not clicking? Like, what do you think it is? What do you think the issue at Chelsea is? Right?
It's going back to process. They try to cheat. They try to cheat the process. They took steroids instead of doing it naturally. They took the steroids. They thought they could. Listen, everyone said, yeah. Everyone looked at, and I have to go back to Arsenal. I'm not saying this because I'm on Kunle's channel. I'm saying that because it's just obvious what you have to do to change. Everyone looked at Arsenal and said, "Ban that. We're not taking 5 years. We can win the league in 3 years."
Yeah.
But people don't understand the league and everything else has changed, and you have to change with it by hook or by crook, because getting whooped by Bournemouth, getting whooped by Ipswich, they haven't beaten Ipswich this season. Lets you know, bruv, we have to. And I understand they've been creating. I know that the big thing is about them creating and working hard isn't their problem. It's finishing, but there's all a psychology behind it. And I remember watching channels after I've seen the debates, and this is a hit maybe for the Baller FC kind of crowd where they said on paper we're better than Liverpool, and I'm like, on paper you've got no Champions League winners, you've got no Premier League winners. Your players don't know each other. You can't fit your players into a gym, into a changing room. They're still learning each other's first name. On paper, these guys have won multiple cups together. They might not be the fanciest name around. They might not like have the techers or the name like Jadon Sancho and all these fancy names that you got, but they are a better team than you. And it's all about how you build a squad and what consistency means. And again, going back to Arsenal, if we're going to have comparisons of the teams that are going anywhere, is how long it takes to build that team. I don't know how long has Ødegaard been at Arsenal now? Saka,
4 years.
4 years. This is a team of players that have played together for like maybe minimum for some 3 years, then upwards to get to where they are consistently. And people,
I'll go on further. I'll go on
Go on.
further because you look at Enrique, yeah, he's come to PSG. And I think this is the best PSG team that we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
He's got a mixture of youngsters and players that have like lifted, like, you know, the European Cup in terms of what's his name? Fabian Ruiz. He won it with Spain and he lifted up. He's a general in that midfield. Vitinha couldn't get a game at Wolves, but now look at him.
Right.
Why?
Right.
Coaching, disciplinary. So when I saw a video with him as well, and he's talking to Mbappe, telling them off, saying, listen, I don't care that you're the best player in the world.
Yes.
You need to defend without the ball, and you need to be a leader, and you need to press and work hard. And it's these type of principles and foundations that these Chelsea players, they need that kind of coaching inside them. And at the moment, it's becoming too predictable, too stale. And as you said, Toon, you can't just get almost like, you know, back in the day, Madrid tried to get all the Galacticos. PSG had Neymar, they had Messi, they had Mbappe. Did it work? Did it win them anything? No. So at the end of the day, you can't, like you were saying, really cheat the process. You need certain things installed in you. And I think that balance is needed. And I think that's why Chelsea aren't really doing well. But
They can't skip the
guys,
process.
I've invited I reluctantly invited this Chelsea fan in because he actually talks sense. He's not one of them delusional ones that thinks they can cheat the system and they should be challenging for the title. He's one of the. So it's not going to be as fun, guys. It's going to be logical, and we're probably going to agree with some of his points and shit, like annoyingly. So, big up Hanif, man. Always good to have you. Smash the likes, my people. Whether you're watching now or on the replay, man. How you doing, Hanif? Do you agree with some of the things the panel already said about Chelsea? Anything you'd like to add on the situation? Look at the anti-climax, Hanif, mate.
I don't think I'm the right guy for your show because you're not gonna get any hits with me on there, unfortunately. I predicted top 6. I thought, and I don't be on many footballing platforms anymore because unfortunately everything is being it's turning out the way I thought it would. So, but no, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. And to be fair, if you look at the team, it is a top 6 team. Let's be honest, they're a top 6 team. And the reason why they're a top 6 team is because if you don't, I always believe that you should hire the best in class. That's that's what Chelsea's been built on in the last 10 or 15 years. We get the best in class, and then somehow, some way, we manage to get through the league. And if you're contending for the league title, if we were where more or less Arsenal were, and we were missing out, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, we're up there. That's all I want. I could accept that. But you know, at the end of the day, when we've spent so much money and the board is responsible for the mess that we're in, it doesn't fill you with much confidence. But I've seen this show so many times. I was a Chelsea fan before, Roman, and we're back to where we were. So I'm happy. I've seen my team succeed, and I've said this over and over again. I believe Man United will win the league before Chelsea Football Club. And I say that clearly.
You heard it here. See that? These freaking.
And
he needs a gunshot in the air, bro. Lighter. Hey,
pull up, Alexa.
See, Chelsea fans, you lot need to listen to Hanif. Do you know how much
I actually,
your life
and the reason why I say that is because I believe the Man United manager is better than ours. And I always, and the thing is this, it's because everyone is judging it differently. But at the end of the day, if I believe if Amorim had our team and we were playing that system, I believe we'd have maybe 6 to 9 points more, and we'd be closer to, we'd probably be in third or somewhere. We should be where Nottingham Forest are, let's be honest. But ultimately, I think when you look at what Chelsea have been doing in terms of recruitment, I see a lack of leadership, I see a lack of experience. And when you don't have leadership experience in abundance, it will cause you problems. If you look at Arsenal now and you look at Newcastle, people are using Arsenal as an example, which is fair. But if you look at Newcastle, people were laughing at Dan Burn going to Newcastle. That's a good player, very good player. But I go, his name's Burn, in it. He's not got a sexy European name. And you look at him now, and look at him now. They are flying, and also they're not allowed to spend the money as well. So Newcastle are being held back as a result of the rules, which is unfair in my opinion. But they're getting there slowly. But if you look at what Chelsea is doing, they've got the money. They're somehow getting around the rules, but the recruitment's not right. I don't know who the director of football is responsible for a lot of issues this summer.
So wait, Hanif, so as of now, do you think since, let's just go from the summer, the season you had last season, do you believe you've stood still, gone backwards, or you've taken any sort of steps forward?
I think the players that were there last season have improved this season. I'm a big fan of Nicholas Jackson. I really am. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's an out-and-out striker. I think his build-up play is phenomenal. In front of goal, he's hot and cold. I don't think there's many top European strikers out there. And like the Newcastle fan said above me, you need to give it time. Whether those days have gone where Chelsea can spend the money and get back up there in one season. Those days are over unless you get a top-class manager. And there's only one or two left in the world. The new managers at the moment, they need that time.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know who our manager was until I had to look on Google. But when I look at my club and compare it to last year, if they finish 5th, then yes, it is an improvement. You can't deny it isn't. But is it enough to justify spending that much amount of money and the amount of players that Chelsea have got on their books? Probably not. They need to get Champions League in order to justify the summer that they had. If they don't, they are in the same mess that Manchester United and Man United are in. The only difference is they've spent so much more money. That is the ultimate difference. And until Chelsea fans, and I don't understand why they're getting upset, until Chelsea fans don't understand that, you know what? You need to lower your expectations. We are not that club anymore, and we have to build from the ground up. You were laughing at Arsenal. Guess who's being laughed at now?
And you know what it is? Hanif is spot on, man. And I'll bring the rest of the panel in. He's spot on with this. That a lot of Chelsea fans that are represented on social media are the Abramovich era fans.
Yes.
And that's why, and that's what's getting pushed out. And that's a big problem because those are the people that seems to be the loudest voice. So that's what it looks like the consensus is for the fan base. But there is a bigger part of the fan base, like the Hanifs and people like David as well, that actually understand it's a process. They're not coming out saying, what was it? Michael Dewberry's son's on the terrace a few times. He's like, we're not Arsenal. Here's one of his famous videos. We're not Arsenal. We don't need to wait this amount of time. They're too focused on not being someone rather than fixing their club. Like that, the reality is the only way you fix your club is through banter. There's no other way. Do you know what I'm saying? I wish there was a way you could get through it without getting trolled, bantered. It's gonna hurt, but you just gotta stick in there. And I know because I've been living it. I've been living it well. You know what I'm saying? Like when Chelsea, when the board are doing things like signing 16-year-old contracts and stuff like that, it's a mad thing. Big up football locker room banter as well. Big up Boots Bants in the comments.
And you know what's good for you, Conley, is that you guys got to accept who you were 5-6 years ago when not as many teams as good as they are now. So you don't have Bournemouth, you don't have Brighton's, Forest, obviously ourselves, Villa. So it looks a little bit. It's not as bad.
Yeah.
But if you're Man United and as Hanif said, if Chelsea aren't careful, you could find yourself even further down.
Auto glass settings, bro. That's what I'm looking
settings.
for. Auto glass.
Why,
That's what we need.
Auto glass settings, brother.
Nothing wrong with autoglass, you know. There's nothing wrong with
autoglass. Very reliable.
I don't know who's ever had a
You know
cold beer, but
you know what he said, we said
Yeah.
about like a lot of the content Chelsea content creators are like in the Abramovich era. Because I remember like someone made a joke to me, like they said,
Andre Flo. Sorry.
Yeah, when I was saying to them, talking about like chasing leagues and stuff like that. Because you can't tell me about chasing leagues. You ain't never done it before. And I'm like, my brother, we were chasing leagues before Abramovich came. We're the clubs that went 12 points ahead of Man United before collapsing, mate. Like, but it let me know that like you really you only know that. Like, you think football started like
literally, bro. Literally. Bro, I saw someone on the stream say that's been talking shit about players from back in the day, and he came on. He said, "I've watched like 5 full 90-minute games of Roy Keane. You know, he's actually a player. You know." I'm like, "Oh, swear down." He's swear down, like do your research. These Gen Zs, I love you guys, man, but it's okay to look back in the day. Your time is not the best time. It's okay. It doesn't make you any less of a person. There's a few sites online that you can 90-minute games. Watch 90 minutes. Real football, Mavericks, people dominating, not getting told to touch and pass it back. They had their own. They could make their own freaking decisions. Them players there. Football it actually existed before you guys were born, you know. You get me? So, but the Chelsea thing, I would say this: Chelsea in a situation where they're not doing terribly, but for me, I expected them to finish top 6 like Hanif. If they finish top 6, then for me, they've achieved what I expected of them. I understand certain fans thinking after spending 1.5 billion, they should be in the Champions League. But if they did, I think Chelsea should be really like massively praised for that, because at the end of the day, I don't think their squad is good enough for the top 4. But if they somehow get top 5, I'm not as impressed, because they weren't supposed to be 5 Champions League positions this season. If they get top 4, for me, I'll be super impressed, because I think Maresca's a worse manager than Poch, and I believe losing Poch,
It's
they
because
put themselves in a worse situation.
It's because they started on fire, innit? They were in a title race, and I think that's where the expectation went sky high. It went back to where proper Chelsea standards.
They should have just enjoyed the time. You see me when we won. Sad. I don't remember. Everyone used to get onto me.
Can I just say something on that?
Go on.
What the comment he made. So we had a great start. Do you know why I didn't carry on? Lack of leadership and lack of experience.
They took the way.
That's why.
That's
exactly why.
Because nobody at the club knew what it was to be in a title race.
Did you see the interview, by the way, Kate? The lady said to him, "Oh, how do you feel about the title race?" This is him.
We're not in it.
Nah, man. What's that? I said, "Oh, okay."
What's that?
You man.
Dev FC. That's what I was saying on the terrace. Tune Texas. I was saying the Chelsea dressing room is now like the Nottingham Forest.
Chelsea Football Club to be winning the league after spending that type of money. That's not acceptable.
But it's not
get
possible.
away with this daylight robbery or this daylight fraud that has been committed in that football club. Do you understand what I'm saying? They should be winning the league.
With that money spent, if Arsenal, Man U, Liverpool, City spent that type of money, they'll be asking them to win the league. But unfortunately, the way they've decided to spend the money has not been the right way. But yet, majority of the fans were explaining to us why it was such a great idea before they started to protest. But that's for them to debate and worry about. Do you know what I'm saying? But what I will say is Chelsea. I think they've gone backwards, but I think they have to stick with Maresca because of what they did to Poch. Because it's not about chopping and changing every single year. You got to ride out the pain with someone.
They still create a lot of chances, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Palmer has not.
They just need some experience and some leaders in there, and things can start looking better.
You know, like Man United don't really create chances. That's why I'm like, Man United, look at their goal difference. Their goals have just dried up. They don't really have that firepower. Whereas Chelsea, a little bit different. At least they're entering the box. Do you know what I'm saying? At least they're getting shots off.
Maybe why they're in the top half and Man U in the bottom half, isn't it?
But yeah, that makes sense. No, you're right.
I think there's an issue. I think you have to take in what the managers. I definitely think the managers got some part to play in it.
100%, 100%.
I do, but I still listen. I've been on a couple panel shows, and I'm saying this, and I think I'm going to be again by myself. But I think it's majority of the players. I don't think it's a complete manager issue, because I think these players are dropping their heads again, and this is an issue that we have, or not we. I'm not part of them. That's an issue that they have. Do you know what I mean? Where these players are dropping their heads again. And
there's no maturity and leadership to pick it up.
Yeah,
though, bro.
and but the thing is for me, yeah, I look at the team, yeah, and I understand that Maresca's making some wrong substitutions. He's making tactically, he's doing some certain things wrong in the midfield, playing obviously Enzo and Caicedo gets left in the midfield. Do you know what I mean? As a lone six, bro, and just gets dominated by the 2-8s every single time. Obviously, we had the discussion with Mo yesterday, and he was telling me that. I understand that. But also, like Ash just said, bro, the amount of chances that these guys make,
tons,
especially against a team like Ipswich, the amount of chances they made yesterday, these guys had 34 shots on 34 shots, and half of them were off target. The rest were on target, and then there was a few that were blocked. Like, there's no way that you should be having 34 shots, and like that's despicable. Like the thing is, even when my team does it, I'm like, bro, that is awful.
Yeah, no, but
like,
Sarge, the issue, I think, like I was saying, the Chelsea dressing room right now looks like the Nottingham Forest dressing room. What I mean by that is that there's a lot of youngsters, little music, vibes, fun, post on social media. No, what I mean by that is it's cool. It's cool for Nottingham Forest because they're overachieving right about now. Do you know what I'm saying? That's cool for them, and everyone can get behind that. But if I'm the aura that Chelsea built over the last 20-25 years, that's not what I expect to be seeing there.
Remember when Chelsea had that black and gold kit? They were just deadly. Like they're just beat. Like, that was the Chelsea that I remember.
SCN days.
Do you remember? That's when there was no play. No one had mad little highlights going through their head. They were just, and you know what? Since Nicholas Jackson took that off, it's become they were machines. They were machines. And people take that kind of stuff for granted when we talk about it, because it does go into the whole idea of having a winning mentality. Like, and when people were talking about at the beginning of the season about they kept on comparing Chelsea and Liverpool, because that was the main thing about about who's got the better squad. And I'm like, and they kept on like, oh, this guy's got tackers.
How can that be a debate?
How can that be a debate? You haven't won Premier Leagues, you haven't won Champions Leagues, you haven't done anything. You have a house.
I think it was a problem though when they lost Silva. I think Silva was their natural leader. Right. He was the one that sorted out. Because I think
of Jorginho being there as well.
I think of Chelsea. When I think of Chelsea, I think of defenses. I think of spine. I think of solidity.
Real men, like they had real warriors, brother.
They had like a strong African base. I remember it was
boys, those days have gone. Boys, those days have gone. Stop it. Stop it. This is the fan base that still thinks we're in those days. Stop it. Those days have gone. Modern day football, right, is different now. It's different. There's no such thing as a spine. You got to turn up and play. They're not that good. The top six, man. I accept it.
I hear you. There should be a bit more leadership, but I hear there's not that type of player that are.
They're gone, man. Imagine if you start shouting at them. If you start shouting at some of our players, they'll cry, man. Those days have gone. Imagine Dan Burns swearing at some of our youngsters. They'll leg it. They'll leg it, man.
And Joe Linton.
I know Joe Linton coming across, grabbing you and throwing you across the changing rooms. Bloody hell. I would have messed with that guy.
And you know what to get in the debate? Because I heard a few content creators saying like Chelsea's midfield is better than Newcastle's midfield, and I always say
better than Arsenal's as well.
Who wins in the fight?
War was a fraud,
right? So who wins? That's what it's going to come down to. I don't know if Hanif will remember this. Like when Chelsea this year played Brighton twice in 1 week, and you lost both games 2-0, right? And I feel like Chelsea are like flat track bullies, where that squad was when they're going is good, when you're scoring goals, when the passes are growing great, it's so good. You're dancing. The moment Brighton started having a fight, raised their levels, just try to win personal duels, they didn't want it no more. They just gave in to Brighton, and it showed me a lot about that character. How you can lose to the same team in the same week 2-0 like that. I said, Because that's where I feel like it's not a manager. Well, you can blame it on the manager a bit, but I thought you got to win. You got to fight. It's a personal thing now. Like it's you and that.
But the
that
thing is,
team.
we don't have the
leadership.
players with that type of personality. You see, you've got to have personality, and you know, I'm one of those Chelsea fans, and I'm gonna get absolutely cussed for saying this, but and I say this, and I mean this. You know, Reece James, he's going to be available 15 Premier League games. I'm like, I don't need that. He's average at best, but Chelsea fans love him because he won Champions League. But that's just me, innit? I'm entitled to my opinion. 15 league games, man. Imagine a player gives you 15 league games. I'm like, listen, put Gusto in there, and I'll get 30 games out of my man. Get Reece in, give him half an hour, and cool, man, build him up. But there's a lot of, we have to accept, right? We have got some very good players at Chelsea. Caicedo, love him. Cole Palmer, love him. I like Jackson in the build-up, but he can be frustrating. He needs time, but he's improving. But he seems to be, he seems to be the scapegoat at the moment because I know why, because he's African. But that's beside the point, I guess, for some of the fans that are watching Premier League. And then you got our goalkeeper and Maresca are more or less the same level. So at the end of the day, right, top six is, look at the team. I just say, look at the team, top six. It's a fair conclusion. If they achieve anything higher than, and I said seventh at the beginning of the season, but they said, be nice to them. I said, all right, top six. We should get top six. So
negative.
And this is, and you could tell, right, what happens to me in Chelsea forums. I get cooked, bro. I get cooked. I get cooked. But then when it comes to the end of the season, I'm like, oh yeah. So what did we win? And that's it. And we're back to watching Conference League football. I'm like, yeah, man, this is our level.
Do you think you're going to win the Conference League?
We don't know. I don't know.
Do you think then, if he doesn't win it, Maresca, should he be sacked then if he doesn't win conference?
Nah.
I would only replace him if a world-class manager's coming in. Someone with experience, someone who's won something.
Suppose Amorim got sacked here. Would you swap for Amorim?
Hey, Ash. I'm going to stop you there. We're going to get into some of the comments real quick. We need to move on to another topic. Let me get into some of the comments real quick. Finesse says, players are giving too much slack these days. He's right, 100%. Mr. OT says, no real football spends that much money on that many players in a season. The team is 11 individuals who haven't created the style. I agree with that as well. And if you're going to spend that amount of money, man, how can you still be screaming out for a quality centre-back and a quality centre-forward? It's absolutely embarrassing, to be fair. Instead of Jackson, so develop, he was telling Mikel to shut up. Oh, my goodness. I don't like that comment. Maresca is a rotation coach. Why start Trev at right back when Gusto and RJ are on the bench? Yeah, that was wild to me. At home to Ipswich, you're rotating with. Yeah, that was a bit mad to me. Like, big up Epic.
That's because our biggest game is on Thursday, mate. That's why.
He wants the cup.
Got you. Man said
the league doesn't matter to us.
Marco says, imagine Palmer trying to throw a punch. Hey, he's a quiet one. You never know, man. Hey, them quiet ones there. Hey, no.
Oh man, well, like you're doing too much. This guy's trying to squeeze the juice out of the little orange, bro. The thing's gone, bro. It's dry, bro.
Guys. If Newcastle kind of gone over like the time in terms of the other subjects, but obviously, something happened on yesterday. A player got, I think, 2 assists away from the assist record, or 2 or 3 assists away records. Then for the last couple of months, these conversations have been thrown out. I mean, Liverpool have about to win their second Premier League title. Mo Salah's about to win his second Premier League title. There's a lot of numbers and statistics that we're seeing from this incredible African footballer who's definitely a legend of the Premier League, a Liverpool legend, an African legend as well. And I don't think he gets enough flowers in general world football. I do believe just like Henry, he should have had a Ballon d'Or in his career. I don't think he's going to end up getting one, unfortunately. And we all know why that is as well, but we'll talk about that on another stream. But we're not here to discuss and give him plaudits. We're here to discuss something very, very specific. I don't think we have enough time to get into the nitty-gritty of it. We're going to spend 10 minutes on it anyway. Who is the better Premier League legend? Mohamed Salah or Thierry Henry? I'm going to sit this one out with Fola for the first couple minutes.
There you are.
I support Arsenal. He supports Liverpool.
Am I sitting this one out as well, then? Yeah.
No, you're not. No, I was trying to hide that, Sarge. Shit, G. But yeah, so the floor is yours, man. Ash, let's start with Ash.
Yeah.
Who's the better legend?
If I'm being honest, as a footballer, I would prefer Henry, like stylistically. The way he could win games. He had a great team behind him, don't get me wrong. But he was a standout guy in terms of his skill level, the types of goals he would score, the worldies, etc., match winners, you name it. He was Mr. Arsenal. And I didn't think anyone could go above Ian Wright, because when I was growing up, Ian Wright was that guy. And I remember when he broke that record and he backed the top off, you get me? And he had the record on the vest. Yeah. And I was like, this guy's got character. This guy's got something about him. He's a kind of like maverick type. Like, you know, when you watch up growing football, you try to emulate. I'm not going to lie. But then Henry came along from Juventus or Monaco. Both of them, innit? Was from Monaco to Juventus, then Juventus to Arsenal. As a left winger, innit? You know what I'm saying? And then got converted into a forward and linked up with Bergkamp. Let's not forget that. I just thought watching that was something different, something special. And I'm glad I witnessed it. But, and this is the but now, Salah statistically is just putting up numbers season after season after season after season. And people do not rate his tech. They're like, oh, I don't think he's a good technical player. I watched him dismantle Spurs, at Wembley, innit? When we were moving house, you know, we were in transition and we had to play at Wembley for a bit. And the way he dribbled through Prime Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld and just put them on their bums was mad. Tight space, tight angle, bangs it in top of the roof. I said, yeah, this guy he's a good player. He's a good dribbler. But people seem to think, oh, he can't dribble. He's a bit rough. He uses his pace and da.
Yeah, but can he dribble though? Can he like the way you're calling about his dribbling is not.
I'm gonna lie.
He can can he beat a man? Yeah, he can beat a man. But is he a dribbler? Like?
For me, I can only talk for me, innit? I'm just saying. People don't rate his dribbling, but I look at his dribbling and I think, bro, what's people talking about? What's wrong? What's wrong with his dribbling? His dribbling's fine to me. Do you know what I'm saying? And now I'm seeing that level as he's getting older, the maturity. I'm starting to see that assist level. I'm starting to see that creativity spark more. Like even that last game that we just had, like things he's doing cheekily outside of the boot, weight of pass, decision making, knowing when to stay out wide, knowing when to come in as well, positioning.
Ash, if you're looking for a job in the Nigerian government, you're doing a sensational interview right now because the way you're
saying what I'm seeing
and diving. Who has a better legacy and all of these things that I'm hearing for you in response. We've not arrived.
I prefer Henry, but
you can hear the argument, but you prefer.
That's what I'm saying. If Salah continues and he switches into that role, you know, as you seen like with Giggs when he got older. Rooney, obviously, Rooney was his forward, but then he didn't jump into the 10 role.
Let's put it in perspective. Henry was already on his way to America at this time.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. The longevity of Henry, the longevity of Salah, I get it. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm waiting for now. I'm saying like if Salah starts to find a different level, a different tool, then I think he's got it.
Look, I believe my boy's got like 45 G.
All right, bro, you're still sitting this one out, mate. Right. Tune tactics. Hey, we don't care.
You understand what I'm saying?
Lock him off.
some goals and assist things. You do understand what I'm saying? I think my boy Salah has already gone past Henry. Look, I think it's clear. I know you guys, Arsenal guys,
you're bro. I don't know. I don't mind you thinking this. I just want to understand your rationale.
I'm not thinking. I know the facts are there.
No problem. But can you explain? Your reason? Explain, please.
The facts are there. You know.
I want you to explain your reasons for choosing. I don't need the facts being there, bro. What's your reason?
Salah has won. How many Premier League titles has Henry won?
2. Next.
I'm asking you.
2. 1 invincible.
How many?
Next.
2. Right. Okay. Cool. Did he win the Champions League with Arsenal?
I don't think that has anything to do with the Premier League. But no. Continue.
Okay, so
We're talking about Premier League legend. You're not talking about
we're just
Champions
talking
League
about
legend. We're
everything.
talking about
Okay,
Premier League
so
legends.
Salah is gonna have 2 as well. Salah's gonna have 2. Who has the
Okay.
most goals?
So wait, hold on. If we're bringing in like all competitions, are we bringing in World Cups? Like what we doing? Like what we doing here, bro? Like, do you know what I mean? We can go band for band, bro. We can bring
What I'm
it.
trying to say, I'm trying to say that Salah
Bro,
is
come on, man.
Salah has
If we're going by
Henry,
trophies, Henry has more than him,
statistically.
so I don't think you want to go there.
Like, we don't want to go there, bro.
No. We're coming for all the records. That's what we're saying. We're coming for all the records. It's done. It's a done deal.
Okay.
We signed a 2-year deal. It's definitely going to any record Henry has is going to go past it. Next season that he hasn't gone past already. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's put some respect in this boy's name, man. Just because it's Salah, and we've seen Henry because it's the first one that we saw, dazzling the Premier League. Henry is making mincemeat out of that. I'm sorry. I mean, Salah is making mincemeat out of that. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Salah is a
Two
better football
tactics.
player.
Because I've not heard anything but
All right.
numbers as your reason for that. But
That's-
carry on. Two tactics.
That's smart. You've heard it. You just.
Bro, all you talked about was numbers, records. That's it. Numbers and records. That's what I heard from you, bro. And the internet's cut you off, bro. You're chatting shit.
I think with these questions, I feel like we're talking about 2 different eras. And I feel like looking at the panel.
You're gonna do that angle.
I have to. I think apart from I don't know. I'm not gonna assume how old Saad is, but like I feel like we're all guys of a certain vintage. It's like whenever I hear, for instance, players speaking from like the 80s and 90s, they all bang on about like Brian Robson and how amazing he was. They literally man for man, they all say that.
Okay, but you know what the difference about this is, Toon Tactics? I know you've watched both players' whole careers in the Prem, so that's why I'm not taking this from you.
No, so what I'm saying is,
you've seen both of them, so don't do this. Don't do this, dude.
Okay, but you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say then.
I don't mind that. All right. I just want to. I'm intrigued to the argument.
So
I just don't want to hear anything about numbers. If it's a numbers thing,
no. So I think this. Okay, so then that goes to the point of criteria. Like, what is your criteria? So some people, obviously, it's the aesthetics, it's the numbers, it's the moments, it's the wins, it's all these different things. So people have to establish what that is.
Mine is everything collectively.
So everything collectively. So like in terms of that, I think it's difficult to do that because I do feel like they're from 2 different eras. So for instance, there's a narrative that, like you mentioned earlier, like you got in 2010s, like it was we had better football then. We had these Mavericks. I'm not of that opinion. I think our quality of football is better now. I think the reason why people are so banging on about Mavericks is because football was so much slower then. And then you had to have Mavericks, you had to have people that did individual things. We have less of a need for Mavericks now because you have, for instance, sides like Bournemouth and ourselves, like you got 8 or 9 players in the opposition half, pressing teams and doing turnovers. Whereas before, where you say if a team that's in mid-table playing your Arsenals, playing against your Man United, we're parking our buses in front of our penalty boxes, praying that you don't score and hoping that one decent player in our team can do something. So I think whenever I hear fans, it's typically fans from that big 4, big 5 teams, your Man United, your Arsenals, because you've had Henrys, you've had these iconic players. You guys think that it was great because it was good for you. It was great for all of us, and it wasn't great for all of us. And just because your teams had these iconic players doesn't mean the overall standard of the Premier League was amazing. It wasn't. We know because I was in the mud with everybody.
In your opinion, I respect your opinion. I don't agree, but I respect it.
So in my opinion, I do think that the overall quality of the league has improved. That's why I feel like it's difficult to judge. And I do feel like that's from 2 different eras. So if you ask, for instance, younger fans like 15 to maybe 20, 25, who know De Bruyne, who know Salah, who know all these players now, they don't know Henry. They don't know Pires. They don't, like, Ash will say, for instance, we've got that guy, Mike's, that comes on Spurs Kings. He's 20 years old. He doesn't know Van Nistelrooy, right? You can't tell him who Ruud Van Nistelrooy is. Like, he hasn't seen him play. Right, so that's why it goes back to who you ask. I've seen both of them play. I think overall, if you're saying everything, tournaments, everything else, obviously I think Henry's captured the imagination a lot more because he's won things, he's done things. I don't think But then Salah doesn't play for France. He plays for Egypt. And they're not going to win the World Cup like ever in our generation.
What about AFCON?
Has he won AFCON?
Nope, he's not.
Right. So
lost 2 finals.
So that's maybe, I think maybe if he's going to cement his glory, ironically, he's going to have to do things outside the Premier League. He's going to have to win a major tournament outside of the Premier League to cement himself in the Premier League.
Who do you prefer to him stylistically? Do you prefer?
I know he prefers Henry. He just danced all around. I know he's an Henry fan. He just doesn't want to give me that.
I want to bring up another Liverpool. I want to bring up another Liverpool legend. And I'm going to say
you look a little bit like Thierry on them.
So I like Torres more than Suarez. Stylistically, that 2-year period of Torres was insane. Honestly,
that Liverpool 2 years was amazing.
That 2 years, remember when Vidic fell over because he was scared just because Torres was behind him? That was like the peak for me. That was insane, and that was big boy Vidic. Like, so I know it's Torres for me.
You know what? I'm putting a timeout on you, man. I didn't like your analysis. I didn't like it, man. I was with you up until you started dissing the football back in the day. Like Hanif, you watched football back in the day as well, so I'm gonna tag you in for your input on this. We've got like I think we've got 7 more minutes left of the show. Like, let's do it. But Hanif, give a quick rundown on what you think about who do you think has a bigger legacy? Don't dance like that politician did a minute ago.
All right, I think they're both obviously fantastic players. Salah in terms of numbers and Henry in terms of, as the gentleman said, catching their imagination. I'll be honest, right? When Arsenal were great, and me being a Chelsea fan, I used to watch Arsenal all the time because I'm just like, I want to see great football. And Henry was obviously one of the guys up and coming, and he became the man. I'll be honest with you, that guy made my young teens, me becoming a young man. I loved watching him play. I totally disagree with what the Toon said in terms of the football being better now. The football now is awful. You will see ratings fall eventually, in my opinion, but that's a different conversation. The reason why we had Mavericks is because you had players who were more advanced than other players. They had technical ability. They could see and sense things that other players couldn't. Henry could do things with the ball that other players could not do. Henry could do things which made him stand out. And that's why whenever you look back, you look at what my man was doing and it looked like he was playing, and it looked like he was playing for the current Real Madrid team or the current Barcelona team because he was that damn good. In terms of Salah, right, numbers are great, plays for a fantastic team, plays for a system. But for me, I think Salah is not better than Henry. But this is my personal opinion. Numbers are great. There's no denying that. I love the guy. But, I remember when he came up against Ramos. Ramos dealt with that guy. I was just like, nah, man. Nah, you gotta be expecting Ramos to come through you. And I remember that, and I think Liverpool fans, they went to 3 Champions League finals, and they couldn't be a good Real Madrid team. They beat a good Spurs team, which says a lot about them, and they couldn't be an aging Real Madrid team. And that kind of tells you that where was Salah, man? We have this discussion with Henry sometimes. Where was Henry when you need him? But where was Salah? Because Salah's getting all these numbers and plaudits. And fair play in the league, I get it. But when you need to stand up in finals sometimes. And for me, Henry edges it.
That's it. One penalty.
So for me, Henry edges it. But that's just because maybe I'm an older fan. I don't like modern day football. I think it's awful. I think it's got rid of. I think losing the freedom. Not allowing players.
You don't have that same.
Not allowing players to leave their particular area because you don't want to concede the counter has ruined football. And I think the more coaches that come through and play the current football will eventually have a knock-on effect on ratings of football, because I'll be honest with you, it's not entertaining unless you're one of the top teams. But what modern day football has done, it has given the smaller teams more of an opportunity to compete. I'll give it that. The reason why Nottingham Forest are up there is because if a team can't finish against them, like Chelsea, they'll hit you on the counter and they'll score. And if that's the type of football people want to watch, counter-attacking football, fine. There's a reason why England don't win the World Cup. And there's a reason why Spain are one of the best teams in the world, is because they've got ballers and we don't. we can kind of play football, but the Premier League football is not the best. It's the most competitive probably, but it's not the best football. I'll be honest with you.
You can pick and choose what teams you want, but Brighton have better possession than most top teams. They don't do counter-attacking football. We do a bit of both. We can do counter-attacking and we can press. Bournemouth press the.
But my brother, I'm not saying you can. What I'm saying is, you know, back in the day, and I'm sure you did this as well. Obviously, we support who we support, right? I'll be honest with you right now. I think, and I'm 40 years old. I'm not ashamed to say. You guys could probably tell from the white beard. I'm 40 years old. This is the worst era of football I have ever seen. I sometimes have to friggin' go watch different games because you don't have the Mavericks, man. I'm looking, when De Bruyne doesn't play for City, all we're watching now is players finishing. There's not enough one-on-ones anymore. You've only got Saka at Arsenal to a certain degree, and
in fact, there's more
it's just you had more players doing more.
Players are not taking on players
because it's become more fitness-based and players can run a lot more. I'll be honest, if you want to watch running, watch the Olympics, man. I'm telling you, because there's no difference at this moment in time. I'll be honest with you.
Wait, hold on, guys, hold on. Because
I pick Henry.
I think we need to schedule this bigger conversation.
I pick Henry over Salah.
We're getting crossed over. Sorry, man, a really, really good discussion. Remind me of that. I think we should do in the summer. We should do a show on eras of football and discuss this in more detail because I think there's a lot of juice in this conversation. But as we're wrapping up the show, it's only right the Arsenal boys get to chime in on this little discussion. I'll let you lead it, Saad. I'll let you lead this one to help us sign out. What's your opinion on the little debate?
God, who am I gonna pick, man? This is a tough one, man. It's a tough one, bro. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? There's so many like factors to discuss. Do you know what I mean? Factors to you know what I mean? Listen, man, there's too many things to take in and consider. I'm gonna have to go for my boy TT. Man, like Thierry Henry. Listen,
give us like a 45 second rundown.
The end of the story, like when you were gonna say,
I didn't know. I was actually curious.
Listen, bro, I could have said, I could have said something else, bro. Do you know what
I'm saying? I didn't know where he was going with it, but give us a 45-second rundown of why you
Kunle understands, bro. Kunle understands. You know what I mean?
You didn't know. You didn't know.
No,
where's he gonna go? Shit.
I can't lie, man. For me, I respect Salah highly, yeah, and I have a lot of respect for the guy because of what he's done in football, and I do agree that to a certain degree there is, do you know what I mean? There's racism, there's Islamophobia, there's multiple things that we all know, but that's for another stream, as Kunle says.
I don't know that.
That's for a whole another stream.
It's not the best. It's not the best. Like, why does it
another stream, as we said?
No, there definitely is, man. If his name was, if his name was Salahadinho, then do you know what I mean?
That's not racism.
He might be getting.
If it's Dino, it's Brazilian.
Okay,
there's not racism, is it?
Okay, there's preference.
It's like the opposite.
There's preferential treatment then over certain footballers over certain other footballers. Do you know what I mean? But regardless.
So where's the racism from?
Hey, Toon Tactics, let him get his seasons out, right?
Let me get you the stat sheet of African footballer versus Brazilian footballers, bro. We can get the stats. Nah, but listen, if I'm being realistic, there's no way I can pick anybody else than Thierry Henry. Listen, I might have not been there to see his early days, but I definitely watched the latter days.
What days? Hold on. What days did you watch Henry from?
Listen, man, I was there, bro. I might have been young, but I was still there. Don't worry, man.
What's your earliest
Premier League go, bro. Premier League go, bro.
I listen,
2015, 2015, this guy.
Fumbling this breakdown. Are you
fumbling? See Henry, did you? You see more of Salah than Henry.
Hold on.
Are you fumbling? Hey, first of all, Toon Tactics. No one distracted you. You're distracting him. That's why
what's going on here?
Sorry, son. He's distracting you. Illegal tactic. Go on, do your thing, bro.
Listen. There's I understand to a certain degree what you're saying about you have to watch them live and all this. Every old head tells me this, bro. Big up to you guys. Do you know what I mean? I know you're men of age, yeah. Big up. big up. But every old head tells me, you know, you have to watch them live, bro. You won't know where it is until you're watching them live and you feel it live. But I've watched enough of Henry, just even with clips that I'm watching and stuff like that, bro.
YouTube
Listen,
highlights, yeah.
you can no. It's not even YouTube highlights, bro. I watch full seasons, bro. Full seasons. I go in depth with my club. But in regards to both of these players and looking at both of these players, I have to say that for me, Henry, just the moments, the complete player that you have, whether it came to passing, whether it came to shooting, whether it came to ability on the ball, dribbling, just overall physicality at times, the speed of the player, bro. I've seen this guy just go crazy, bro. The speed that this guy used to run at, bro, is crazy. But listen, I think Salah has good things. Salah has a very good finish. His crosses are amazing, but and of course his numbers are gonna beat Henry's. We can just clarify that right now. But I think if you're looking at the complete package and the complete package of a player, Henry is that complete package. That's what you look for in a player. If you want a striker, that's the complete package. Do you know what I mean? This is someone that you could this is someone that you can try and compare to a certain Ronaldo, and we're not talking about Cristiano. Do you know what I mean? But listen, I'm just
Have
for
you seen
me.
the R9?
Tag me in.
There you are. Toon Tactics, bro. Hey, listen. How old do you think I am, Toon Tactics?
No. Just okay, I'll answer.
Bro,
the
tag
old
me
do
in,
you
bro.
think
No,
I
I
am?
got you. Tag me in,
From what
sir.
you're saying.
Right.
I'll answer the question. I'll answer the question. You answer the question.
Hey.
I think Saad saw Henry when he came back to Arsenal from Barcelona. That was the first time you seen Henry when he played against Leeds.
He's tagged me in, so that's irrelevant.
No,
for now.
Wallahi,
I'm coming like
When
Scott
did you see
Steiner,
him?
bro. Hey, look,
I listen, man.
Toon
I've
Tactics,
seen him, bro.
look.
All I'm gonna say to you is I was crying tears, bro, when I watched us fucking come out of that Champions League final without the trophy in our hand and Lens. Listen, man. Let me not.
Why are you
get
getting
started,
into
bro?
all this?
Like, man's gonna start dragging me. Man's gonna start. No, hold on. Man's gonna start dragging me through my depression states to prove to him that I watched Henry, bro. Please,
don't
man.
do it.
Can I just add something?
No. Let me go because we've gone kind of over time. Let me wrap up this shit. Let me wrap it up by starting with this comment. Hold on. No kid will grow up and try to dribble and finish like Salah. And that's what I'm going to lead my analysis with, because I love Salah and I hate having to rep him so much in modern day football, because I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. When people were talking about Benzema, I was saying Salah should have even won it that year. Like, I'm a pro Mohamed Salah fan. The proness stops when he's being compared to the king. There's a reason why he's called the king, because he influenced a whole generation. People pull their socks to their freaking knees because of Thierry Henry. He changed the whole dynamic of being a number 9, that you don't have to just do your work in the box. He made football look sensational. He brought joy to people when people were watching him. I don't get joy from watching Salah. I'm excited when he scores a goal, but he doesn't bring that feeling. And I know Liverpool fans don't get the same feelings, because I know some of them were even getting the feelings from watching Henry that they couldn't get with Salah. This guy is like, there's so many people that are like that incident that happened a few weeks ago when there was a guy that scored a goal and ran in the crowd to celebrate with Henry. That's never happening to Salah. You're my idol. You're my idol. You're my idol. Yeah, an exceptional player when it comes to numbers, but Henry meshes numbers and finesse and character all in one bubble. And that's why, for me, he has a better Premier League legacy. If you watched all their games in the Premier League side by side, I guarantee you have more fun watching Thierry Henry play than Mo Salah play. I think they're both exceptional players, but for me, King TT wins this battle. And I'm going to close. I don't want to hear what you guys have to say with what I said, because it's my show. I'm just going to go into the comment section. And I'm going to close the show. All right. So first of all, we got Mr. 142. He said, pick 2 of those to start in a 4-4-2. R9, Romario, Weah, Henry, Ibrahimovic, Raul. Bro, I'm picking R9 and Henry.
R9 and Romario.
I wouldn't pick Henry over Weah. Where was better?
If I'm playing R9, I'm picking Henry.
You don't forget about Romario. Jeez.
Yeah, this is the thing. He's very biased. This guy. He's just on all the time.
No, I don't want any part of this list. Actually, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I was just rethinking. Nah, I'm out. Henry gave the best defenders, legendary defenders, sleepless nights. Where Salah plays against, I couldn't even name 4 defenders he plays against. But yeah, that's again for another stream.
Oh no, he plays for Van Dijk.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But guys, but the reality is, because of the numbers that Salah's putting up, there's always going to be discussions like this, and they're understandable. But when you look at the bigger picture, for me, it's Thierry Henry. Majority of the panel think Thierry Henry. I think there's a bigger discussion about the different eras of football that we're definitely going to have in the summer. Big up everyone for joining the stream today. If you're watching on the replay, smash the like button. If you're watching now, smash. If it's your first time on the channel, subscribe as well. I'm going to be back on Friday, but you can catch me on Op Watch every single Monday, and that's going to go and continue into next season. So hold me accountable this summer. I know I've been inconsistent with the streams, but I'm on it. I'd like to, first of all, thank my panel for joining the show. Debutants, the 3 debutants. First of all, Toon Tactics. Are you doing any shows this week, tonight, tomorrow that you tell anyone about?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do 2 shows Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. So do join me for that. But I'm also co-hosting with Ashmatic on Spurs Kings on Wednesdays. We'll do a rival show. So do come see me on that. But I can tell you why this era is better.
Did you say Spurs Kings?
That's right.
That's
right. Yeah, that's Ash, you got anything? Have you got anything coming up this week?
Yeah, damn it. For all those rival fans there. Spurs Kings TV right here. One half of the CEOs. But yeah, now we've got you can catch me there in it. Spurs Kings TV. Got a show obviously as well tomorrow. Just talking about, the good old days, talking about transfers.
Good. You have
Anything but the current situation, bro.
Ramos. You're talking about Monday Ramos, aren't you?
Pavlyuchenko and then Monday, yeah.
Kino, I put respect on Kino, Berbatov, Defoe, Carrick, you name it. Yeah, some of your favorites.
Good old days.
Yeah. We do our thing. Rival to Wednesday. Check us out, man. 10 p.m. Peace.
Big up, Ash. Saad. Hopefully you catch me on Saad's show in the next week or 2, man. I know I've been terrible in the past, but I'm on it now, man. Saad, can we any shows this? I know you're definitely doing something on Champions League night, but anything else?
Yeah. I'm not doing anything tomorrow. But I am back on Champions League night. Do you know what I mean? We're going away to the Bernabeu. I'm not going. Do you know what I mean? I wish I could, but big up to all the man them that are traveling to Madrid. Yeah. But yeah, listen, we're doing a. I'm gonna have watch along on Wednesday, match reaction Thursday, and then we're gonna do the Cora pod on Friday. So make sure to get at me, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to all the boys, man, as well. Make sure to subscribe to their channels, bro. Some real knowledge here. Do you know what I mean? Although I was getting cooked, but do you know what I mean? Some real knowledge here, man. Big up, man.
And you know what? Big up Hanif, man. One of the most reliable Chelsea fans. The most annoying as well, because he actually understands what's going on, and it's not as fun having to go
you won't get no hits with me, man. I'll get hit.
It's fun having to go at Hanif as of some other delusional lot. Do you get what I'm saying, man? Big up. Thanks for being a super reliable Hanif. And
anytime.
Show again on the channel. Henry in today's system would be an absolute nightmare for every defender in the Premier League, and we wouldn't even be entertaining the conversation about Salah because
we've got our own
at the same time, and we would have
and
we would have won a Premier League. But smash the like, share, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys. Loads of videos going on this week from Channel TV, Man U, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, all of that, man. Check us out for the reactions. Check us out for the highlights, and check us out for the live streams, man. Have a good evening, guys. Oh yeah.